The baptism of fire with the bondservant of Christ, John Anosike.
And the Bible speaks of the spirits of just men made perfect. What's the spirit of just men made perfect? What is the spirit of Elijah? Where is the spirit of Catracuman? Where is the spirit of Smith Wigglesworth? Where is the spirit of William Branham? Where is the spirit of Paul? Apostle Paul simplified his spirit as his faith that he kept. He said, I have fought the good fight of faith, and I have finished my course, and I have kept the faith. I will not leave with the faith. Can I bring it home? That is the spirit of Paul rotating in the atmosphere. What is the spirit of Paul? The passion, the fire, the frequencies that he provoked in the realms, the portals that he opened, the dimensions that he assessed, the footsteps that he took. There are imprints of his footsteps. He that finds the ways that Paul walked, the fires that he commanded to descend on earth, the passion that he lived in and walked with, they are in the atmosphere. They never left. They are called mantles. Frahila, when Elijah departed, he left his mantles. That thing he left was the cloth he wore when he prayed. Fire resided on it. Passion was in that garment. When Elijah took the garment of the man of God, he went before the river Jordan. Where is the spirit of my father? Where is the God of my father? Wow! The river divided into two and made a way. If you find the footprints of Paul, you will be able to find the places he went, the dimensions he ascended to, the fires he contracted, the depths he assessed, the pressures he suffered, the distresses he went through, the persecutions he went through, the trials. Men who carry the genuine glory of God were never found asking for material richness. They never asked for material riches. They were men that died to this world, because you cannot be entrusted with the powers of the ages to come if you have not died. You can act like you have it, but deep down in your heart you know you don't have it, because the results don't show it. The earlier we humble ourselves and start crushing, praying, tearing, until we encounter the power of God, the better. At least some men in the days of Jesus had the capacity to host the passion, the fire, the spirit of Elijah. The spirits of men made perfect can be hosted. The work of Abraham is still in the realms. They're all captured in this earth. There's a time you pray and tear. You'll be amazed that the person you capture in the realm will be Abraham. Because you have entered into the spirit that Abraham has sexed while on earth. Then suddenly you realize that Abraham is the custodian of this dimension. It's the time you push in the spirit and you break through. You push by the hearing of the spirit and the hearing of the spirit. Suddenly you realize that Enoch appeared to you. Because Enoch walked in that path. He's the custodian of that knowledge. Listen. If you truly see Enoch, he will not lead you astray. Except you saw a false Enoch. So don't be afraid to capture custodians of realities in the heavens. Because Enoch belongs to Yahweh forever and can never say things that are contrary to Yahweh. How we know that the spirit you saw or had encounter with is of God is if the things they say are in harmony with scriptures. When John the Baptist, by virtue of the scourging, by virtue of the distresses of the flesh, by his capacity to dwell the wilderness all the days of his life, eating only honey and locusts, he ascended and captured the spirit of Elijah. How do I know? He lived like Elijah lived. The custodian of that lifestyle possessed him. Sons of God, you can host a spirit of the just man made perfect without knowing. How do I know? When the king sent his servants to go consult John the Baptist to ask, who are you? And when this man from the king came and said, John, who are you? Are you Moses? He said, no. Are you Elijah? He also said, no. He did not know that in the realms of the spirit he was Elijah, but he did not know. He denied being Elijah. But Jesus, being the Godhead, Jesus being absolute in his knowledge, knew that John the Baptist had captured the spirit and has hosted the spirit of Elijah. Even the host didn't know. You can host some spirits of the just man made perfect without knowing it. Matthew chapter 17, 12 to 13. And I say unto you that Elijah is come already, and they knew him not, but have done unto him whatsoever they listed. Likewise shall also the Son of Man suffer of them. 13. Then the disciples understood that he spake of them of John the Baptist. You saw that John said he was not Elijah, because he never actually knew that he was Elijah, because he was a vessel prepared to host the spirit of Elijah. The spirit of Elijah was needed in the vessel for the forerunner of the coming of Christ. What then is the spirit needed for the forerunning of the manifestation of the sons of God? What is the spirit needed for the forerunning? What spirit do you think is needed? If the spirit of Elijah was needed, if John, the human vessel, the forerunner of the birth, the coming of the Lord, is to host a certain spirit of the just man made perfect, to be able to succeed, to introduce Jesus and prepare the way for him, the question will be, what spirits are needed for the forerunner of the final appearance of our Lord Jesus Christ? The spirit of fathers are hanging in the atmosphere. How many have captured the spirit of Kachukumen? That man, that woman left something in the atmosphere. Who has captured that garment? Who has captured the garment of William Branham, A.A. Allen? Who has captured the garment of Billy Graham, a man who single-handedly, when he preached, the whole world bowed, governors bowed, kings, even Muslims. What was backing Billy Graham? Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes unto the Father except by him. He's the way. If you don't have Jesus, you're going straight to hell. People will respond. Where is the fire? Where is the spirit of Rehad Bunky? A man who came to Africa and turned the whole Africa upside down for Jesus. Jesus is Lord. Come to him right now. And down he preached until his heart was broken and torn. He had a heart condition. Out of pressure of preaching, he died. He laid down his life. A good shepherd lays down. He died daily as he was power preaching. Jesus is Lord. He's the way. He traveled from nation to nation. All his life was lived in the field until he dropped this vessel. Where is the spirit of Rehad Bunky? We are here fornicating, gossiping, talking nonsense. Listen, when you break through in the realms, God will open the world to you. Billy Graham did not have access to nations by accident. He opened the door to nations. God opened the door to nations. God opened the door to nations. Bishop Brady said, how far can I take you before I lose you? I want to take you high, but can you handle the seduction, the glory, the power of the heights of my glory? 90% of those I gave it to betrayed me. They committed the sin of treason with a woman. They can't handle the pleasure, the pressure the glory brings, the seduction of the glory. A little gift, you're finished. How far can I take you before I lose you? I want to give you my glory. You're praying for my glory. If I give it to you, can you handle the attacks my glory attract? Can you handle the crushings, the accusations, the sexual urges, the emptiness, the loneliness, the brokenness, the sacrifices that my glory bring? My son Samson was a disgrace because he fell for a woman called Delilah. The man that I have made the custodian of my power to deliver my people was a man that they made ridicule of. They blocked his eyes, laughed, poured drink on him, kicked him. He brought shame to Israel because he could not handle his sexual urge and the power Yes, I want to give it to you. I want to give you that power. But can you handle the pride it brings? Can you still be humble? Can you still cry in my presence? Or are you going to come in like you've arrived with pride? I want to tell you, are you broken? Will you remain broken? Will you remain humble? The two spirits that must be hosted in these last days are the spirits of Enoch and Elijah, not Moses. The record of Enoch was he walked with God. Elijah didn't walk with God. The measure that Enoch walked with God, no man in the history of the world except Christ had ever walked in that capacity. Enoch walked with God. So if you can host the spirit of Enoch, you'll be on fire. You'll be following the footprints of Yahweh. You find Yahweh's pre-imprints, the ways that Yahweh had walked even before the foundations of the world. You start capturing certain realities that are beyond scriptures. What is the spirit of Paul? The passion, the fire, the frequencies that he provoked in the realms, the portals that he opened, the dimensions that he assessed, the footsteps that he took. There are imprints of his footsteps. He that finds the ways that Paul walked, the fires that he commanded to descend on earth, the passion that he lived in and walked with, they are in the atmosphere. They never left. Shamahila, Shahila, Rahila, Frahila, Bashania, Sapalida, Brahila, Valida, Bahila, Fahis, Shalamas, Caprecandunia, Kufredis, and Sakoparada. Nobody enters the frequencies, the electricity of Zion, and be the same. Your increase in the spirit decreases your carnality.